The mornings are getting colder already. The crisp air brings the first sensations of the coming autumn, but the slowly rising sun still bears memories of the warmth of summer. Long shadows stretch on the backyard. In the areas where the sunlight meets the ground, the morning dew makes the lawn glimmer like it was made of a multitude of small, bright crystals, reflecting the light in most beautiful colors. There's no sense of hurry, even though the children must be taken to the school and daycare in time. The mind is as peaceful as the shining crystals on the lawn, but a barely unobservable distortion is felt. There is something illusory included in the inner peace, an imaginary emptiness. It is a manufactured emptiness, a deeply hidden state of the mind. An empty mind is not a sign of the self within, but only a state of the mind that can be observed. It produces a sense of presence that is at best an ephemeral experience. It is one of the myriad phases in the play of life that leads to unconsciously identifying with the state of the mind. It is a simulacrum of liberation the mind dreams about, but never attains permanently. There seems to be no way out. The mind is a snake eating its own tail. The tools of the mind cannot solve the structure of the mind because they are an intrinsic part of the mind. The futility of all effort in changing becomes crystallized. Realizing this brings about a sudden wave of anxiety, but at the same time the familiar feeling of true liberation arises. This liberation carries no identities and no illusory images of being or becoming something. The deep inner peace sensed by the mind is replaced by something indescribable, but what shines through all the false experiences of inner peace. A clenched spiritual fist opens and relaxes, and the need for all control vanishes. It all happens seemingly because of one wordless realization, which is forgotten over and over again, and remembered over and over again. Something is aware of the ephemeral states of the mind. That something is always aware of everything, including the false state of the inner peace. And to be more precise, it is not even something because when looked for, it cannot be found. It is formless awareness and empty stillness. The familiar dialogue with the daughters continues even though the realization happens. Liberation is not an act of getting out, but more of a way of getting into the world. First, the older daughter goes to school, then the younger to the daycare, and afterward the journey continues toward the office. With the realization, nothing has changed, but everything shines like small diamonds in the all-encompassing awareness that belongs to no one.